One routine transfer, three human approvals, a cold wallet designed to keep enormous reserves away from the open internet. Then, in the time it takes to read a confirmation screen, almost $1.5 billion moved beyond the exchange's control. Investigators say this was not a flaw in Ethereum itself. It was the Bybit heist of February 21, 2025, a prepared attack on trust, software, and the moment when a human decides that what a screen shows is safe to sign. An exchange does not keep every customer asset in a system that can send funds instantly. Large reserves can sit behind stricter controls, including a multi-signature wallet that requires several authorized signers. Bybit used a safe-based process for an Ethereum cold wallet. That day, its team began what it described as a routine transfer toward a warm wallet. The people approving it expected one transaction. The blockchain ultimately received something far more dangerous. Bybit's timeline says the malicious transaction executed at about 1413 UTC. It changed the wallet's smart contract logic, giving the attackers a path to drain the assets. Bybit later listed more than 400,000 Ether and several Ether-linked tokens, worth roughly $1.46 billion at the time. The funds split across dozens of addresses. One wallet was affected, but its scale made this the largest publicly reported crypto theft on record. The disturbing detail was the gap between appearance and effect. Technical investigators reported that the signing interface could display the expected transfer while malicious logic changed what the signers actually authorized. The signers were not merely careless. The surrounding software supply chain had allegedly been prepared so that a trusted interface could lie at exactly the right moment. Later investigations assembled a longer timeline. Signia reported that a safe developer's Mac was compromised in early February, probably through social engineering. Investigators then saw cloud access using stolen credentials and reported that JavaScript serving the wallet interface was modified before the transfer, with logic aimed at a specific wallet. Minutes after the theft, the injected code disappeared. Gaps remained, but the evidence described a patient operation. Once the transaction reached Ethereum, the theft became public in a different way. Blockchain transfers are visible. The stolen assets began moving through a growing web of addresses, swaps, cross-chain services, and conversion routes. Visibility did not make recovery automatic, but it allowed analysts, exchanges, and law enforcement teams to follow the trail in near real time. The heist became both a crime scene and a live global tracking exercise. On February 26, the FBI publicly attributed the theft to North Korea. The Bureau calls this activity TraderTraitor and links it to the broader Lazarus ecosystem. Its alert named wallet addresses connected to the stolen assets and asked exchanges, bridges, analytics firms, decentralized-finance services, and other virtual asset businesses to block transactions derived from them. That is the strongest official attribution in the case. Precise access details still rely on company and private forensic reporting. Chainalysis and Elliptic described rapid efforts to move and convert the assets through services intended to make tracing harder. Every hop created a decision. A service could freeze funds, refuse cooperation, or pass them onward. Connecting an address to the theft did not guarantee that anyone could stop its next transfer in time. So what failed? It is tempting to say the cold wallet failed, but the wallet followed signed instructions. It is tempting to say multi-signature failed, but several signatures cannot protect a transaction if every signer sees the same deceptive interface. And it is tempting to blame one developer when privileged workstations, cloud sessions, web assets, transaction decoding, and emergency controls formed one connected security boundary. The practical lesson is defense in depth around the signing moment. Organizations can isolate developer access, require phishing-resistant authentication, monitor production web assets, and separate build systems from transaction systems. Signers need an independent way to decode the exact transaction on a trusted device. Allowlists, transfer limits, stage delays, anomaly detection, and rehearsed shutdowns make one convincing lie less likely to become irreversible. The theft took minutes, preparation took weeks. Laundering and investigation continued long after the first addresses lit up. What made the operation powerful was not one exotic exploit. It was the ability to join social engineering, cloud access, front-end manipulation, smart contract behavior, and financial laundering into one chain. What made the response possible was another chain: disclosure, blockchain tracing, private forensics, exchange cooperation, and an official FBI attribution. $1.5 billion moved through systems that people could observe but could not always stop. Transparency can reveal a crime in extraordinary detail, yet visibility is not control. The next heist may use different code, but it will test the same question. When a screen asks for approval, how do you prove the machine will do what the human intends? This episode uses synthetic documentary reconstructions rather than footage of the real intrusion. The primary records and technical reports are linked in the description. Subscribe for the next investigation, where we follow another cybercrime from its first point of access to the money trail and the people trying to stop it.